Good evening. Welcome to another live episode of the Sports Report Live. I am your host, the radio guy, Mike Prince. I want to give a congratulations to the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Lady Panthers victorious over the Howard Bison 1-0 in the SWAC championship for soccer. They were co-champions during the regular season, but the Lady Panthers outright snatched everything. And congratulations to Coach Carvello and the crew. Special guest for us on tonight will have Dennis Krantz of the Rose Hill Christian Eagles. They had a stellar season this year, finishing up 9-1 in the regular season on a 9-game win streak. And we'll talk with Coach tonight. We'll also hear from Johnny Football Cole as he'll recap things that was in the world of HBCU sports. I want to thank our sponsors on tonight, Diva Skin Conditioner, Attorney Lee Van Richardson, and we cannot forget the good people from the Prairie View Athletic Club and Texas Farm Bureau Insurance of Waller, Texas. And without any further delay, we're going to jump straight into today's, or should I say tonight's episode, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. A big weekend it was, and a topsy-turvy weekend in the world of college sports. Man, we'll get into that a little bit later on. Right now, halftime between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings has the Cowboys trailing 17-14. Since we are on the clock, if you would, for the show on tonight, we're going to try to roll right through some of these scores that we have going on in the world of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Some things have turned around. We'll talk about this a little bit later on in the segment. We'll give you some scoring for right now. Norfolk State pulled off what some will call an upset over North Carolina Central, 28-21. South Carolina State victorious over Howard by the score of 62-21. North Carolina A&T could not answer the call against Morgan State, losing by the score of 22-16. Bethune-Cookman falls to Delaware State by the score of 16-13. So, boy, you got all kind of complications now. We'll go back into that a little bit later on throughout the show, if time permits. You know, it all depends on how things go, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get that one in. That is of, as I say, some major implications here. In the world of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, we may mention, but don't look now, the Grambling State Tigers have really, as they say, jumped back with authority with a huge win over the Alcorn State Braves. Of course, they were at home. They won that game by the final score of 19-16. It took overtime to get it done, but they got it done. Pine Bluff fell short to Prairie View by the score of 37-20. Congratulations to Dewanye Tucker. He now has over 1,000 yards, 1,007 to be exact. Stellar career for a young man, a great young man. Alabama State was able to hold off the Texas Southern Tigers by the score of 27-21. And you had Jackson State and Alabama A&M in a shootout. Alabama A&M were the last team standing, 48-43. And we might as well make mention, Southern University, 58, Virginia Lynchburg, 7. So those were some of your major scores for this weekend. We're going to take us a break, and we'll get back and hear from our high school circuit now with Dennis Krantz of the Rose Hill Christian Eagles. This is the Sports Report Live here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We'll take us a break, and we'll be right back.
After my first car accident, I feared the biggest damage would be to my wallet. I expected a mountain of bills and a long, drawn-out process. But my Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent was there when I needed her and helped me get back on my feet and in my car in no time. Instead of a hassle, I got reassurance and a quick recovery.
Call Agent Jeremy West at 936-931-3696 to see if you qualify to save up to 40% off your auto insurance.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Let's face it, from time to time, we'll have a need for an attorney, whether it's the case of a DUI, DWI, or any other circumstances that would find you on the other side of the law. Attorney Lee Van Richardson, located at 1047 Austin Street, is the one to call. Attorney Lee Van Richardson and his staff are equipped to help you get through your legal battles. Attorney Lee Van Richardson, 979-826-8008 in Hempstead, Texas.
Are you one of the many Americans that deal with the effects of diabetes? Diva Skin Conditioner could be the remedy that you need. Diva Skin Conditioner is a formulation that was designed with you in mind. Diva Skin Conditioner comes with a money-back guarantee. That's how confident they are in their product. For more information, visit divafeet.com. That's D-I-V-A-H, feet.com. Or you can speak with a representative by dialing 903-270-0026. It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to the Sunday Night Sports Report Live. Of course, we come to you each and every week, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We thank you guys for joining us on tonight. Remember, at halftime right now, the Cowboys trailing the Vikings by the score of 17-14. But our next guest, they had no problems getting out in front early and often throughout the course of the season, taking over in his first year. And what a way to make a statement. 9-1 on the regular season as we present to some and introduce to others Coach Dennis Krantz of the Rose Hill Christian Eagles. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing well, Mike. How about yourself?
Well, look, I can't be no better than what you're doing right now, man. You come out the gate. You were given this tough assignment, following in the footprints of a Bruce Lane. Everybody going like, Bruce who? You come in with a fantastic season. Man, give us a summary if you could.
Well, we started off the year going to Austin, and we didn't know a lot about that team. And, you know, played Savio there and came out with a loss in that particular game. And the guys played hard, but we just didn't have everything right. And it's just been a building project ever since then. The guys believed in what we were trying to do. And, you know, and I think that's the biggest thing. Once you get your players to buy in, you know, and then it's just a matter of executing every week. And we've been fortunate this week or not this week, but in all the weeks, you know, 9 weeks in a row, that the guys were able to do that and just get better each and every week. You know, we're not perfect, that's for sure, but, you know, the guys understand that as well, but they're working towards that. And I think that's kind of a testament to them and their hard work this season more than anything else, you know, more than any talent or whatever. And we do have talent, certainly, but it's just a matter of them putting in the work and you know, I'll just give you an example, like Saturday practices, you know, that's something that, you know, Rose Hill hasn't done a lot of. And the only thing I was worried about is if the guys are going to show up or not, you know, and you know. Well, and it turns out, like, yeah, every Saturday, everybody was there every Saturday. So they won it just as much as anybody else. So I was proud of them and what they've done.
You know, winning can be a easy negotiator, you know, when you pick it up. And if you're struggling throughout the course of the season, people, what sense does it make? And then you get parents getting to hollering, talking about, well, my baby needs rest, this, that, and the other. But it's just one of those things. That was one of the questions I was thinking about. How much pressure was it on you internally? Coming in, taking over a program that had success, and you don't want to add too much. As they say, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. But then you still want to put your own signature and identity on that. What was the inner struggles on that part?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. The first couple games, I didn't. You know, I think I coached more in the sense that of what I thought the coach should look like, and I wasn't necessarily myself. And I think, you know, and that has a lot to do with my own, you know, failures through those first couple weeks, thinking that I had to be somebody else. And, not coach it my way and not do things my way. I think once I started to have that confidence to say, hey, now I'm the head coach. I don't need to necessarily go down a certain road. I could go down my own road, and once I've done that, I think that's just the way that you could do that. Like, you could have a season like we've had, because, without that, I don't know if we would have been as successful. Myself, mainly because I didn't have that type of confidence in the beginning of the season, and now that I do. But that's the nice thing also about being able to coach under somebody like Coach Lane that has 35 plus years of head coaching experience. So, you kind of learn that if you don't put your own signature on things, that you're never going to be really successful, because you're not coaching it the way that that you're comfortable coaching it. You're coaching how you think. And I think that's something that you got to do. You got to be yourself, really, is ultimately what all that boils down to.
Stepping into your own lane, into your own mark on society. That this is Dennis Krantz' team. I'm thankful for the opportunity, but from this day forward, these signatures at the end of this document is going to have my name on it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We're talking right now with head football coach Dennis Krantz of the Rose Hill Christian Eagles. We affectionately call them the Angry Birds, man. And you guys get out taking care of business. The games that were of high expectations, you guys met the standard. The games you're supposed to take care of business on, you guys met the standard. Now you're getting ready for the greatest season of them all. It's the postseason play. Do you have your instructions yet of whom, what, when, and where, and how this thing is going to take place as you build toward the TAPS championship?
No, and that's kind of the thing. It's nice we have a first week bye. We won our district, and so we earned the first week bye, which is nice. But at the same time, you really still don't know who you're preparing for, because they haven't played yet. They won't play until this Friday. And so that's somewhat of a nerve-wracking thing, because you want to get to prepare for whoever you're going to play right away. And you end up having to prepare for two teams, to do it right, to do justice. But it'll be figured out this next Friday. So we're going to have a good recovery week of practice and just prepare for who we think we're going to end up playing, in that next round.
It'll be all hands on deck, and honey, keep the pot of coffee rolling. That's exciting. Well, we're going to see if old Clay will be able to keep up with you guys. Clay Nickerson, for those who are not aware, the voice of the Rose Hill Christian Eagles for us here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Old Clay has had some fun with this thing, and he's in a unique situation. He gets to watch his son excel out there on that football field, man.
Oh yeah, he does, and that's what makes it fun for him as well. I mean, I know when he first started to do and to help and do some of that play-by-play, he was nervous. Now he's got his own little setup up there, and his own press pass. To be honest, he's out there on the field now. I got to kick him out of the sideline sometimes.
Well, look, I can tell you, he was truly, truly excited. He was like, well, Mike, if I had XYZ, I can probably do this while on the sideline. I was like, well, Clay, if they're going to give you the liberty, brother, who am I to get in your way? But it's always a blast, man. And we thank you guys so much for allowing us to be a part of this magical carpet ride that has really just begun as you get ready for the postseason play. Now, of course, you get the bye, so that means you will have the advantage of being at home on at least that first round, correct?
No. That's the other part that's not. I mean, if we would have played the first round, we would have been at home with being a top seed. But since we had the bye, that the second game will be either one of two things. It's either going to be at a neutral site, or we'll have to agree to flip a coin to either play, to see who's the home team. So, and I'm probably more leaned on the lines of a neutral site. I kind of like that.
Is that right?
idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of go halfway in between.
Okay, so who are the potential opponents from each side that you'll get a chance to try and prepare for?
Well, Lake Country Christian out of Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then St. Gerard out of San Antonio. They're the two teams that will be playing each other next Friday to kind of clear the fog out of who we're playing. And both clubs are good. St. Gerard has less of a record, but they play in a really, really tough district. So, it's really going to be a tough call as to who's going to be able to beat who, because usually, you can't tell things in the playoffs as much because none of these teams play each other during the regular season. So it's kind of difficult to tell. So a lot of that stuff is going to be cleaned up next Friday, and kind of give us a clue as to what and who we're playing next week. And both teams are good. So, you got to really prepare for both.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have another Sunday night date next week, man, once all this air clears out and we can find out who's who. And I'm understanding now with your options why you're all for a neutral site. Because,
yeah, exactly.
Hey, I like the 50-50 chance, but boy, if I don't make that 50% chance that I get to stay at home, I'm kicking rocks all the way down there. You want to give you guys the best chance. So, do you have some predestined potential spots if, say, it's the San Antonio area or the Dallas area?
Well, if we were going to play up in Dallas right now, we would really like to play either somewhere around Huntsville or around Groesbeck is really where we're looking. So we really like to play there.
Okay.
If that's possible.
Okay.
So that may be a possibility.
And then the San Antonio way, which way would be the direction?
Probably around Columbus.
Oh, okay. You know what? If I'm from San Antonio, I might try to say, man, you don't have as far to travel. Let's come out a little bit further west.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Plus, there's a good place for breakfast out in Columbus. I'm not going to lie. There's a Schobel's restaurant out there.
Yeah,
man, you can't beat that.
I'm quite familiar with that one, Coach. Man,
yeah.
All you got to do is look at my waistline on that one. But no, it's always good and exciting. And Coach, we want to once again thank you for making yourself available, and we want to give you an opportunity to have some closing thoughts and comments as we get ready to shut this segment down.
Sure, I'd just like to put a shout out to all my coaches and all my staff this year and the wonderful job that they do. Coaching at a Christian school and to bring up Christian young men, I mean, that is the name of the game. I mean, yeah, the wins and losses are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm feeling that right now.
Right,
but
right.
Really to see my boys develop, man, that means more to me than any win and loss in anything. So, I'm grateful to my staff, and I'm grateful to the guys and their willingness to develop this year into a team. And I think that means more to me than anything as a first-year head coach. I mean, just to have that and that feeling the first year, I mean, we could be 0-9 and have that same thing, and I would feel just as successful or even more so. So I just want to be thankful for that, Mike, going forward.
Hey, very, very, let's say, touching and agreeable words. But just to add to it, I know it feels great that these guys have responded, and you would be happy if you were 1-9, but it sure feels better being 9-1, doesn't it, Coach?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Let me not go too far. Let me not go too far with that 1-9 comment.
I understand.
Definitely feels good to be 9-1.
Well, Coach, thank you so much, sir, and thank you for making yourself available this evening. God bless you. And if the creek don't rise and the Lord says the same, we'll meet you next week. How about that, sir?
Oh, yes, sir. God bless you too, Mike.
All right. Coach Dennis Krantz of the Rose Hill Christian Eagles. We're going to take us a break, and we'll be right back with more of the Sports Report Live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Great job, Coach. Great job. Looking to expand your business or services? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network help lead the way. With our customized campaigns, we are definitely able to reach your target audience. For more information, dial 832-213-8824. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics.
the voice of student athletics.
One voice. It can get the point across, but it only carries so far. Add a voice. It's richer, louder, but that has limits too. Add a third voice. It's even more powerful. Add another, and many, many more. And we are stronger than ever. That's the power of a community coalition. They help community groups, faith groups, civic organizations, PTAs, employers, and many others in your community organize their resources and focus them where they're needed most, like fighting to keep kids away from drugs. Ask a group that you belong to if they should belong to a community coalition. It's easy to get involved. Visit helpyourcommunity.org and they'll tell you exactly how your group can help. That's helpyourcommunity.org, because you get more when we get together. Brought to you by the Office of National Drug Control Policy and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network, extending an opportunity for you to become a listening partner with us today. At 17 cents a day, you can make a huge impact on our local and regional high school and college student athletic coverage. We provide local talk shows, live game coverage, and much, much more. But we need your support to continue to move forward. Visit our website today at obnradio.com. Click on the PayPal button, which is safe and secure, and become a listening partner today. 17 cents a day comes out to $60 a year. Will you become part of the Open Mic Broadcast Network team? Visit that website at obnradio.com and become a listening partner today. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the voice of student athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Scoring update. Cowboys just took a lead in front of the Vikings, so it's 20-17 right now, or 21-17. Whatever the case is, the Cowboys are up as they're in the third quarter of play. We had some wild play this weekend, and now to talk about our game of the week is none other than Johnny Football Cole Alcorn and the Grambling State Tigers in the hole at Coach Eddie Robertson Stadium. Grambling pulls off the overtime victory 19-16. We're going to have Coach Cole come with us now. Coach, how you doing tonight, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. How you doing?
You know what, man? I'm doing real good. My Steelers won today. My Panthers won over the weekend. The Lady Panthers won the soccer championship over Howard today. And I just celebrated my 28th wedding anniversary on yesterday. So I'm having a great weekend,
wow.
man.
Wow.
How about you, man?
Oh, man, I had a chance to spend some time with my son, and we did a little patio fun, made some s'mores, you know, the mushrooms, and marshmallows and chocolate, and had, played soccer in the backyard along with football with them. So I had a good family weekend.
Well, that's good, man. And a good family weekend for the Grambling State Tigers, taking on Alcorn, holding them off. It was a game of blown opportunities on both sides, but very well-played game for the most part. What's your assessment and recap, man, of our game of the week?
Well, I'm just going to tell you, this game was won on specialty. And at the end of the day, Grambling's kicker, who redeemed himself, he missed one during regulation and came back and hit one in overtime. And that was the biggest thing. This is the first time, probably the first week that we had a defensive game. Both teams came in prepared, and Grambling did a great job in slowing down Alcorn's offense, as well as Alcorn did a great job slowing them down. So it came down to a bunch of punts and field goals.
Yes, sir. Punts, field goals, and field goals that were missed. Of course, Alcorn had a chance to tie it up in the overtime and missed the 33-yard field goal attempt. And I know I've been speaking about it, and I know you and I have spoken about it a couple of times. I think that special teams, or the degrees of separation, across the conference, especially when we play schools out of the conference. And I'm speaking more of those in the Southland Conference. And once again, it was another critical game decided by special teams play.
Without no doubt, you have to be able to take part in your practice and go over special teams. If you don't do that, I guarantee special teams can win you 1.5 to maybe 2 games a year. They give you, of course, they score points and they put you in good field position. You can play field position with a team with good special teams.
Right. Now, Felix Harper has been steady, consistent, and proven to be the real deal. Another strong performance for him. As a matter of fact, he was, 24 of 40.
48.
Yeah, 48. Now, I am surprised that they threw that much, but I guess you have to adjust and do whatever it takes when it comes to these type of games.
Without a doubt, they had 80 plays, though. So they also rushed the ball 33 times for 116 yards. Evidently, you could tell that Grambling was playing a good defense. They only gave up 3 yards, 3.5 yards a carry.
Yes, sir.
But the Harper kid from Alcorn is definitely up and coming, somebody to reckon with. But it was they just couldn't get in the end zone.
They couldn't get in the end zone, especially when it counted. And now you have a whole new scenario, not only in the West, but the Eastern divisions of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. With Alabama A&M able to pull off the win over Jackson State, they now put themselves in position. They are 4-2 in district or conference play, while Alcorn is at 4-2, 4-1, and those guys have to face off in a couple of weeks.
Well, ain't no doubt. I've always liked the Grambling team when I've seen them against Prairie View. I love their quarterback. I think he has a lot of potential to be a good one. And they just kind of eased and snuck in there, and they had a tough, hard schedule starting the year out. And now they sitting right there at 4-2 in the league and ready to play Southern for the Bayou Classic. That's going to be a game to see.
Yeah, now the Grambling still got a little bit work to do, but I believe they've gotten over their roughest hurdle right now. When you look at it and count it all up, when you pull up their schedule, they have remaining on the schedule Mississippi Valley, and they're playing Mississippi Valley at Mississippi Valley, which is, as they say, no cakewalk, but in historical analysis of everything, you do like the chances of Grambling going in there and being able to take care of business.
Yeah, well, Grambling are going there and have something to play for. And Mississippi Valley will just be playing for pride. And, that's kind of a tough situation. So Grambling are definitely, Coach Fobb should have them on their P's and Q's and ready to go.
Right. So if you figure if the Tigers can hold steady and take care of business at Valley, it's going to set up a huge, huge Bayou Classic in the Big Easy, man. And that's
I tell you what, the team that's really sitting in a position is the upset team is Jackson State. They both got both conference leaders, I think, still to play in Southern and Jackson State.
Yeah. Now Jackson State, they do play.
Yeah, they got Southern this week, and then they got Alcorn the following week.
Right.
And that Alcorn game is the Battle of Mississippi.
It is the Battle of Mississippi. But so are you telling me you like Jackson State's chances over that of Alabama A&M?
Well, they sitting pretty good. They sitting at 3-2, and if they can win both games and knock Alcorn off, they could represent the West.
You mean the East?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the East.
Mm-hmm.
The East.
Well, and I'm looking at Alabama
A&M.
A&M, yes sir. Alabama A&M.
I don't see them beating Alcorn next week.
Well, to be honest with you, folks didn't see Grambling beating Alcorn. A lot of folks, if they were betting people, they would have gone and taking the chances of Alcorn beating Grambling, even on the road?
Well, I've seen both teams, and like I said, I just been keeping my eye on Grambling. Everybody counting them out early,
Right.
Because they usually don't lose the Prairie View and the State Farm Classic, and then they got beat by a couple Division I-A teams. So, but they on the move. Coach Farms got them going in the right direction.
Yes,
the
yes.
thing about it is that now, Alcorn got Alabama A&M next week, and that's a big game for the East.
So is that going to be your game of the week?
Well, yeah. I was more looking at the Southern Jackson State game.
Both of them have implications, though.
Yeah, they do. Both does.
But
Both
so
does.
you're gonna go with the Southern Jackson State game. That's the one you're going with.
I think so.
For whatever reason, I just believe that Southern is not going to have as big of a challenge as Alcorn would holding off their opponents that weekend. Don't ask me why. It's just one of them gut feelings.
Yeah. One thing is Alabama A&M got a great offense, and they're real small on defense. And
Okay.
I think Alcorn will run the ball effectively. And if you're running the ball effectively, you'll also be able to pass the ball. I got a score of 35-21 Alcorn next week.
35-21. That's a pretty tall order.
Yes.
That you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just saying that's a pretty tall order right now. We're talking with Johnny Football Cole, who just boldly predicted 35-21. I'm glad we record these things, man, so I can go back.
Because real quick, Mike, if you just go over A&M's scores, they gave up 30 against Morehouse, 52 against Pine Bluff, 24 against North Alabama, Sanford 55, Central State 20, Texas Southern 28, Grambling 23, Alabama State 41, Southern 35, and gave up 43 against Jackson State this week.
Uh-huh.
I don't see them doing that and scoring that many points on Alcorn and also holding Alcorn under those points.
Well, the one thing I can say about a Coach Maynard team, they're almost like Jekyll Hyde approach. They're almost kind of play down to their opponents and up to their opponents, depending on who's on the opposite side of that football. And it's been evident of the scores you just rolled off. And so that's why I give them a fighter's chance. And I still think Alcorn is the better team. But I think that Alcorn, as I mentioned, between they and Southern University, I believe that Alcorn will have a stiffer challenge than that of Jackson State. That's just my observation. But they got to play them, and no matter what we talk about on the microphones, they got to go and play those games. And it's going to be an exciting weekend, another exciting weekend that goes on. I want to quickly, if we could, look at what happened over in the world of the MEAC, man. What a fall for Bethune-Cookman and North Carolina A&T, which kind of shook everything up over on the MEAC side of things.
Yeah, that was one of those what can go wrong will go wrong. And it had to go wrong. I was shocked to see the A&T score as well. And I know that shook a whole bunch of things up over there.
Oh, it shook some things up, and now it makes even more significant of what FAMU has been able to do this year, even though it's a season of what if, because they will not be eligible for the play, but they're sitting on top. But technically, if you remove Florida A&M, you now have North Carolina A&T, who, despite their loss, are still in a good position to represent the MEAC. And then you have Bethune-Cookman's loss, put them at 4-2. And you have Norfolk State surprising everybody. They're at 3-3. And North Carolina Central's at 2-3. Now, realistically, you give Norfolk State a fighter's chance, but it really boils down between three teams, and that's North Carolina A&T, South Carolina State, and Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, I see. They're like North Carolina A&T gonna sneak out the back, and when you start looking at the numbers, of how many points they're giving up according to how many points they score.
Right.
So they outscored all three, South Carolina State and Bethune-Cookman, and also giving up less points.
Right.
So it looks like they might win on the numbers end of it.
Well,
but at 6-3, I don't think all they'll do is get somebody going to the Black College National Championship game, and nobody's going to the playoffs.
Right. So it's going to be, as they say, a tall order, either way you look at it. But it's one of those deals that's what makes college football so exciting, especially at this time of year, man. Especially this time of year. We're talking right now with Coach Johnny Football Cole, and we just cleared up, and we'll jump back over here to the SWAC. I just want to make sure we got that back in. Finishing up some other scores throughout the weekend. Another close but no cigar for your beloved Tigers, man, losing by a score of 27-21. What did you see in that game?
Well, Alabama State jumped out real early, and I think kind of lost concentration because, looking at the numbers, they ended up fumbling 4 times in the second half and giving Texas Southern short deals, and they were able to score, but they weren't able to take drives and move forward. So, unfortunately, we hadn't won a game yet, but we had due. When you look at it as a coach, we are playing teams close. So, and it's the first year, and, we can come back next year. When you're playing teams close, that means that you got a chance, and you just got to build off of that for next year. Okay.
So at this point, keep swinging, keep fighting. You still got at least a couple more opportunities where you don't have a no-win season. And right now, it's about trying to get that first one.
Yeah, you got to get in there and establish your philosophy. And, like I always say, this is your honeymoon year, and you just got to make sure those kids are doing what they're doing on the off field, and hopefully they believe in what you bring in there. And you just got to add a couple more pieces and really dig down in the recruiting part of it and have a good spring practice and get ready to go for next fall.
Well, I said a couple more opportunities. I actually have one more opportunity. That's going to be on November the 23rd. They'll have a bye this week, and they'll finish up at Pine Bluff. And the Panthers were able to take care of the Golden Lions here at home. Dewanye Tucker able to get that 1,000-yard club with 1,007 yards on the season. The Panthers, they were the better team, especially on paper. Right now, they're playing for pride right now, and they want to finish with a winning season. They're right now coming in at 4 and 5. Forgive me, 4 and 5. And with that opportunity, they'll play against Edward Waters, which a lot of people are not putting a lot of stock into that one. Then they'll finish up on Thanksgiving Day against Alabama State.
Yeah, that'll be a test, because you most definitely want to try to get a winning season. And I think that game will determine whether PV will have a winning season.
Right, and that's exactly what it's all about. Now, I'm going to ask you, Coach, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but it's a legitimate question. When you remove, let's say the Panthers do win out, they end up at 6 and 5. A lot of your critics are going to highlight and focus on the fact that they played Virginia Lynch, which is, not really technically on the radar. Southern just blew them out the water this past weekend. Prairie View, of course, played them. Mississippi Valley played them, and I believe someone else. But between this program and the Edward Waters program, even though Edward Waters has just been upgraded to the SIAC, how do you move forward with that when you're really trying to build credibility, not only for your program, but for the conference?
Well, you need those games. Sometimes you need them to get your team back healthy. Sometimes you need just to build things. And I think Coach is finishing up his second year. Am I correct?
Coaches.
And so, he's showing some progress. If you go back and look at some of his scores, he's moving the team in the right direction. You just got to be a little more patient with him. I tell you what, this next year will determine, where the program is. Has he taken it from somewhere to a better place, or he just been stagnated, or not taking it to the place where the administration wanted to be?
Okay. And so with that being said, you get 2 years for your recruiting core to kind of get its grip on things, and then third year you ought to start seeing some fruits of your labor. Is what I'm saying. What I'm hearing.
You should be competing for a championship, because when you look at his numbers, 44-23 Texas Southern, 35-42 Nicholls State. I'm in that game. 41-45 Alcorn State. I'm in that game. I beat Grambling. Southern. I'm in that game. 34-28. Jackson State game. I really thought they should have beat them, but they lose that one in overtime, 38-35. So they right there. They are right there.
Well, I hear that, and I hear you dropping these numbers tonight, but there are also numbers that you could compare as to why the struggle has been what it's been. You look those games you mentioned, all of them double-digit in penalties, if not at 100 yards, over 100 yards in penalties. So those are those hidden yards that end up costing you games. And in just about every game you mentioned that they were close by, there was a special teams play that swung the pendulum one way or the other. And that's what, back to our earlier statement in this segment, I think a lot more detail to the special teams play is something that I would like to see as a supporter of Panthers football and a supporter of SWAC football. Pay attention to the details. Not saying that they're not, but they can always improve upon that. And I think we spend a lot of time on the glitz and the glamour part of it. The offense, offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships, and special teams, I always put it as part of the defense. That's the bonus side of defense. Because if my defense can turn the ball over, I might not score a touchdown every time, but I can get field goals and have a good enough punter where I can win the field position.
Yeah, well, definitely I can't argue that point. And if you looked at Prairie View in the past 5 years, they've never had a problem scoring points. So, I know being a Prairie View guy, it's the same old year, almost, only counting horseshoes.
Yes, sir. And
so I hear the frustration in you, and you got a point. Coach, I can't argue at that, because at the end of the day, it's about winning.
Right. Right. And it's not, and sometimes people get a little bit sensitive on a person's opinion, and whether it's a logical opinion or just an opinion out the thin air. That's part of the blessing and the curse of being in that position. When it's good, everybody wants a mic in their face. When it's bad, they're running and hiding. And you just got to keep it consistent. Be there to endure when it's tough, and be there to shine when it's great. And when you look at the obvious, now I can see if people start doing personal attacks, like why is Coach Cole wearing whatever or doing this? I don't care about that. You could go out there butt naked if that's what you want to, grease down like a hog. I don't have a problem with that. But just come and improve and get better. And when I was talking about that Edwin Waters and that Virginia Lynchburg, Coach, I'm going to agree to disagree on the Virginia Lynchburg. Virginia Lynchburg has under 300 students on its entire campus. Under 300 students. Okay, I don't gain anything out of that. As a season ticket holder, as a season ticket holder. I look at that as an insult on my football intellect.
Yeah, both teams, Edward Waters and Lynchburg, I don't think they've won a game, have they?
I would have to check. I know Lynchburg has.
So that just look like you got three teams on your schedule that hadn't won a game. They 0-30.
And see, I look at that as, that's why I said there have been many people that have reached out to me to my, hey man, I understand we can go 6-5, but did we really go 6-5? If you remove Virginia Lynchburg and Edward Waters, which are games by far you should win, then
and I hate to say my alma mater hadn't won one either. So that's three teams is 0-30.
Right. So when you look at that, and like once again, I understand I could tolerate the Edward Waters more than the Virginia Lynchburg, and then you playing both of these teams in the same year. That's where I have the problem.
Yeah.
Now you the coach, and I know you say you want your guys to feel good, heal, and rebound. I'd rather you take a bye, Coach.
You know, those are games you play your first year. You know, because you just want to build confidence. You want to give your team a chance, like I said, to heal those weeks. You know, but when you start getting into your second and third year, you know, you got to be able to compete and get some teams on your schedule that's going to make you better.
Right. Now, to the credit, the Panthers released their schedule, their 2020 schedule, and they have on their non-conference Texas Christian University, TCU, up there in your area. Then they'll be playing, I want to say, Northeastern Louisiana and Louisiana Tech. Okay, so those will be the three non-conference games. And with the new schedule of the 8 teams playing against each other, Alabama State rolls off the playing schedule for the Panthers, so they won't play them for 2 years. And then you'll have an addition of Mississippi Valley and Alabama A&M from the East. So from the East, they will play all but Alabama State. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out for the next few seasons with this rotation now in place.
Okay. Well, like I said, you know, he's coming to his third year, so the kids he has recruited as freshmen are in the program for 3 years, and so there's a lot of different things that the expectations should be a lot greater, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yes, sir. Now we're talking about, we got to get ready for another segment here, Coach. But who is going to be our game of the week, sir?
What we said, you like Alcorn?
No. You said was it Jackson and Grambling?
Yeah, Jackson State and Southern.
Jackson and Southern. Yeah, Jackson and Southern.
Yeah, Jackson State and Southern.
So
that's going to be my game of the week.
That will be the game of the week, sir. And if the Lord says the same, we'll see you same time next week. You got a scoring update for us on the NFL, Coach?
Yes. Dallas 21, Minnesota 28. Dallas is driving in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter. Johnny Football Cole, brother, we thank you. Appreciate you, man. Have a fantastic week. And Lord say the same. We talk to you next Sunday night.
All right. Thank you.
Johnny Football Cole. We're going to take us a break, and we'll be right back with the final segment of tonight's episode of the Sports Report Live.
Serving the community through faith and athletics. The Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Are you one of the many Americans that deal with the effects of diabetes? Diva Skin Conditioner could be the remedy that you need. Diva Skin Conditioner is a formulation that was designed with you in mind. Diva Skin Conditioner comes with a money-back guarantee. That's how confident they are in their product. For more information, visit DivaFeet.com. That's DIVAH feet.com. Or you can speak with a representative by dialing 903-270-0026.
I present to you 3 of the fiercest subjects ever assembled in the cage of doom. First, the brain-wrenching behemoth Algebra 2, weighing in at a mind-boggling 800 pounds. Foreign languages! The multilingual international sensation capable of tossing you clear across the Atlantic. And finally, biology. More ferocious than formaldehyde, she'll dissect you one chromosome at a time. Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Yeah, I'll do it. Me too. I'm in. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college. Find out which classes you need at knowhowtogo.org.
Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
Be the one with courage to fight child abuse.
All Texans must find the courage to fight child abuse.
Learn the signs and symptoms and report suspected abuse to appropriate authorities.
Learn and know these warning signs.
A child who undergoes changes in behavior, appetite, or routine.
Watch for unexplained injuries, a change in academic performance, or loss of interest by a child in regular activities.
Trust your instincts. If you suspect something, do something.
If you believe a child is in an abusive situation, please call the Texas Abuse Hotline at 1-800-252-5400.
Be the one with courage. To find your local Children's Advocacy Center, visit onewithcourage.org.
On behalf of children, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the final segment of tonight's show here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We want to thank our guest on tonight, Coach Dennis Kranz of the Rose Hill Christian Eagles. They will be awaiting to see if they'll be headed towards San Antonio or Dallas as the high school playoff season starts off. We want to thank Johnny Football Cole. Congratulations again to the Lady Panthers, victorious over the Howard Bison by the score of 1-0. Coach Carvello taking care of business. Basketball season up and swinging hard as the volleyball tournament will begin to take on in Ada Bena, Mississippi this coming week. A lot more in store. The Panthers get ready to take care of Etwood Waters before they'll head to the Turkey Bowl Classic to take on the Alabama State Hornets, and it should be an exciting time. But man, what about those Grambling State Tigers? The Grambling State Tigers are, as they say, riding high right now, and we'll see just how things will shape out as they get ready. As we get ready for this final segment here on tonight's show, we're going to give you some more NFL updates right now. It's 28-21 still. The Minnesota Vikings on top of the Dallas Cowboys, but the Cowboys are in the red zone. Other NFL scores, you had the Detroit Lions falling to the Chicago Bears by the score of 20-13. The Baltimore Ravens appearing to be the real deal, 49. Cincinnati just struggling, 13. The Cleveland Browns victorious over the Buffalo Bills by the score of 19-16. The Atlanta Falcons pull off the upset down in the Big Easy. Believe that. 26-9. Arizona Cardinals fall short to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 30-27. Kansas City losing to Tennessee by the score of 35-32. How about those Miami Dolphins? They came close, but not quite. No, they did win, 16-12. Forgive me, 16-12. And Carolina falling to Green Bay, 24-16. My Pittsburgh Steelers, never say die, winning an ugly game over the over the LA Rams by the score of 17-12. It was ugly, but I will take it any way I can. Now at 5-4, get ready to take on the Browns on Thursday night, and things are looking good. We want to thank our guests for tonight. Thank you guys for joining us, and we're going to sign off for tonight, but we do appreciate you guys. Remember to join us at the Mike Prince Show Mondays through Fridays right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side. Good night.